everybody, and welcome to a show that's going to feel like it's coming like a blast from the past or something because of the different topics we got today. But you saw the thumbnail, you know what's coming. We'll just hand it over to Dunk for the headlines before we dig into it here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could come in with lots of headlines here, but quite frankly, I'm just going to stick with the main subject tonight because we don't know if we're going to get to the other ones, but we'll try. But yeah, because unless you've been living under a rock in the big pinata stuffed news section tonight, we have a lot of stuff about a little man you might have heard of in North America. And a lot of stuff pertaining to him. But if we get to the other stuff, well, let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be an uncomfortable show. There's going to be lots of stuff we have to talk about. We may not be comfortable talking about, but we have to do it. So let's get on with it, Mr. Dawson.
All right. So, yeah, first up, I mean, former President Donald Trump was the target of an assassination attempt Saturday in Pennsylvania. It was days before he was bound to accept, which he now has, the nomination, the Republican nomination for the third time. There was a barrage of gunfire, set off a panic, and bloodied Trump, who, well, I mean, you can see him right there, right? He was shot in the ear. He was surrounded. I mean, everybody's seen it by now, right? So the campaign said that the GOP nominee was doing fine after the shooting, which said he had pierced the upper part of his ear. First time I got my ears pierced, I did the lower part, but each to their own. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place, he wrote on his social media site. Much bleeding took place, probably just character limited, right? Because it sounds like a teenager. The FBI said on Sunday they identified the shooter. Y'all know now, right? Thomas Math Crooks, 20-year-old little dweeb of a kid, too. Agencies said that the investigation is active and ongoing. Secret Service agents fatally shot him. It was a sniper, I believe. We're coming up to it. He attacked from an elevated position outside the rally. We're getting to all the info here. One attendee was killed. 2 were critically injured. That's terrible, right? Just to be there to support somebody, and it's yeah. I mean, okay, political alliances, they don't always agree and disagree, and you might argue with people about things, but it's not a time for guns. The attack was literally the most serious attempt to kill a president or a candidate since Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981, hence the reference in the beginning of the show. It drew like new attention to concerns about political violence in a very deeply polarized U.S. Because right now in the run-up, the rhetoric's getting very, very bad. Don't let it happen between your friends and stuff. It's just an election. It's 4 years. You get through it. You move on. Trump flew to Jersey afterwards, and he got checked out, and he was shown getting off the jet with the bandage. I'm sure you've seen that picture as well by now. Many Republicans, though, quickly blamed the violence on Biden and his allies, arguing that sustained attacks on Trump as a threat to democracy have created a toxic environment. I'm sorry, how many times have you heard Trump say, he's ruined this country, this isn't my country, and whatnot? I mean, come on, man, you can't say that when you're dishing it out real hard. That's the roundup, but there's more to get to. There's quite a bit more. I think I'll save my next one after yours so that we can kind of get around the horn on it and come back to things and stuff.
You sure you want to do it that way?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I can't remember what I was going to now. Because my next story pertains to the whole thing. No, we won't do that one. We'll come back to that one. We'll talk about the odd plane that was found in Springfield, Florida. The police are trying to determine the origins of a plane portion found abandoned at the side of a road. Actually, I realised that this story also pertains to the stories we're covering. But anyway, we'll come to the Springfield Police Department said on social media that a good portion of a plane, the cockpit, nose and front propeller, was found abandoned at the side of Transmitter Road. What a strange name for a road.
Yeah.
The plane bears the markings from Zoo World in Panama City Beach, including giraffe logos on its seats. But the business said it got rid of the plane about a week ago. That used to be part of an exhibit, but it was removed to bring in something that would hold up. Jadenda Terrell from Zoo World said, but that doesn't make any sense. Against kids climbing, that kind of thing, to make it more user friendly for people in wheelchairs and more compliant for people. So yeah, this is not someone you should put them out as a speaker. Talking gibberish.
Yeah.
But police said they learned that the person who took the possession of the plane took it to a scrapyard. There is some sort of material inside the instruments that causes the glow at night effect, and as a result, the scrapyard cannot take them, said Russell Voiles, assistant police chief. So they took
what are they, like radioactive or something?
Of the plane. Yeah. So they took a portion of the plane and they did not take the portion behind me. So police are now trying to determine how the remaining portion of the plane ended up at the side of the road, which I find this story really bizarre. You have the evidence in front of you. You knew who owned it. You knew who took it away. You knew where they tried to take it, and yet they still don't know how.
And it's a mystery. I mean, to me, it's case closed, right? Hey, buddy, come get your garbage, asshole.
Did you ask the people who took it to the scrap?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't think of that one.
We talked to everybody else. We thought we were done.
We talked to Mr. Hannity down the street.
Yeah, that's very strange. What the hell's wrong with people, man?
Idiot. I don't know. It's not just the fact that there's a plane just sitting in the middle of the road. They got all the facts in front of them, but they just can't put it together. Come on, Columbo.
Yeah, it's like they're reading the instructions for the game of checkers, and they're watching chess, and they just can't figure out what's going on.
Is this the state of the police department? And you'll understand why I was going to bring that one up after all the other pertaining stories to the Trump situation. But yeah, we'll get back to that now.
Yeah. So here's some reactionary stuff to the Trump situation. So let's just get another picture of the man up there. So, see, what happened actually is I had one of those websites that started reloading when I went back to it, and I would have stumbled, but now I got it in front of me. We can keep going. So officials are demanding to know how an armed man was able to get to the top of the building and shoot at Donald Trump. So a report of a suspicious man had reached police, and witnesses pointed and shouted at an armed man on a roof nearby when Trump was speaking. This is not looking good for the whole Secret Service. The attempted assassination, we know that there's two in critical, and the guy who died was 50-year-old Corey Comparator, and he was killed protecting his family because he did the whole cover them, right? So spectators noticed...
Can I give you a quick commentary on that one? Because it does really piss me off when I see messages saying Trump took a bullet for America. And he's like, no, he didn't take a bullet. He got shot. The person who did take a bullet is not being mentioned here at all.
Yeah.
It was Corey. He took the bullet to protect his family. It's like, pick your heroes correctly.
That's right.
Please.
Actually, they should be hiring him for Secret Service because he did a better job than everybody else there, to be honest, right? So the spectators noticed a man later identified as Thomas Matthew Cooks pacing outside the event's metal detectors. Police received reports of this behavior. Witnesses later pointed and shouted because he was standing on the roof with the AR-style rifle. It was a Butler Township police officer encountered the gunman on the roof before the shooting. The officer was looking for the suspicious person when another officer hoisted him up so he could grab the edge of the roof. The officer then dropped to the ground, injuring his ankle. A sniper was who took out Crooks seconds after he started firing. Um,
They were looking at him.
yeah,
They were
I mean,
looking at him. They only waited till he started firing.
yeah, I don't understand the whole chain of events here that I'm reading. So this guy was acting like the obviously nervous guy in a Hollywood movie, and nobody seemed to care, even though he was reported on. And then he's standing up on a rooftop with an AR looking rifle, and people are like, holy crap, look at that. Well, I don't know. We'll go over here. I'll boost you up, Bob. See if you can, like, it sounds like Keystone Capers. It's unbelievable. So Stan Kephart, a former police chief who worked event security for 2 former presidents, said the shooting followed an absolute and abysmal failure on the part of the Secret Service. The agency is ultimately responsible for the candidate's safety, he added. You don't get to blame under the other people. They are under your control, he says. And I mean, it's hard to argue with them, right? You know?
Well, there is a case to argue here because there's a whole bunch of we call it departments involved. You got the police, you got the the Secret Service. They even have members of I think it was with the National Guard or something. You see it in the video. They all coming out in their military uniforms and you know, all rifled up and everything. So they were present there as well. And yet none of them were looking at the closest building.
Yeah, it's almost like them saying, well, it's just a book repository. What would that be a problem for? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas said he had full confidence in the Secret Service's leadership, but has conceded that the gunman never should have been able to get to that position. Congressional committees are moving to investigate because they're just shocked that this could ever get this close. The first hearing is going to be scheduled for July 27th with the director of the Secret Service.
Hearing. You have to speak up. You have to speak up because Trump can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, he's got the bandage. Yeah, you know. But she'll be speaking before the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability. The FBI is investigating as a potential act of domestic terrorism, but the agency has not identified a clear motive. The FBI is kind of in belief that Crooks, who had bomb-making materials in the car he drove to the rally, acted alone, and as we know already, the gun was purchased by this kid's father. Analysts have gained access to his phone, but a law enforcement official who was speaking very much on the side of anonymity said that the device hasn't revealed anything meaningful.
No.
Yeah, the FBI's conducted like 100 so interviews of law enforcement officials, attendees, and others. But so far, there's a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, especially when you hear the eyewitness accounts of this guy being pointed out before he even got in and then when he was in. It's just unbelievable to me.
I mean, that is just going to be rife for conspiracy theory. I just know it's going to happen, even though you should never go down that road because we just deal with facts.
It's not helpful.
See what comes out. But the sad thing is, obviously, obviously because the guy got shot, we are never going to be able to question him. And that's sort of thing that happens with a lot of these shooters is we never get to find out what was going on behind their mind because basically they get peppered and turned into Swiss cheese.
But then again, we had the Geraldo Rivera interview Charlie Manson thing that made no sense to anyone. So,
he was a nut job too. But but it's the whole proximity thing as well. It just gets me. The position of that building. It was just 100 yards away from Trump. It was the most likely place anyone would have taken a position to take our pot shot. And nobody thought to look at it, guard it, check it, or anything. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, going on the proximity of that. I mean, he was so close. He was literally within earshot of Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, at this point, people are lucky this kid obviously wasn't the best shot in the world because, as I understand it, he was close enough that if he was good, it would have worked, right?
Well, as they're pointing out, and even Trump is pointing out, It was just a moment where he turned his head slightly to look at the screen, and that was that moment when the
Wow.
guy tried to take the shot. He just turned his head, and if he hadn't, it would have been straight into the back of his head.
That's, and I know
most likely been fatal.
Well, right, exactly. Now, speaking of kind of making jokes and stuff, should we go to there?
Yeah, we go there now.
Yeah, perfect. So, fat old men.
Yes.
No, there's more to it than that.
Well, yeah, they're all fat old men.
So am I.
But yes, the comedy rock duo Tenacious D, made up of Jack Black and Carl Gass, has cancelled the rest of their tour after Gass remarks about the assassination attempt of Donald Trump. Because while on stage at a concert in Sydney on Sunday, Gass was presented with a birthday cake and asked to make a wish. Gass responded, "Don't miss Trump next time," he said. Apparent reference to the rally shooting a day before. So the video of Gass was widely circulated on social media. Jack says I was blindsided what was said at the show on Sunday, and would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it's appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold.
Oh, wow.
I am grateful for the fans for their support and understanding. Okay, so...
Couldn't he just apologize for being too stoned that night?
Well, yeah. Well, Gass goes on to say that the line I improvised Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence in any kind or any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I am incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. That's where it should have ended. You don't cancel the tour and all that kind of stuff. There was another story about somebody who cancelled their tour, comedy tour in the UK because of the football. They didn't want to miss it, and it's like, you fuck up. Never mind, you can get your money back and all this stuff. People make plans to come and see you. They will travel halfway around the world. They will book flights. They will book hotels. They will get babysitters. They'll organise their entire life to come in to see you live. Okay, he said a stupid thing, but no, you don't cancel the tour over it. You get on with it.
Yeah,
apologise and just get on with it.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake.
I don't think this is cancel culture worthy. It's not like somebody did something really horrible. It's just a really bad joke, Well,
but I've seen it on Twitter. I hate to say it, but there's some horrendous stuff coming out. I mean, as far as the shooting of Donald Trump, I know there's an awful lot of people who wished it would have gone the other way. I know that. And there are some who have voiced it. And the people who have voiced it they've been turned on by the MAGA crowd. There's people out to get them, cancellation, even threats of violence against them for saying such a thing. And it's like, well, Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, that's next to Nazi bullying, in the Third Reich. Come on. You don't do that. We know people that are going to be out there who have wished it gone the other way. We know that.
Yeah.
And some of the people who have made the mistake of, voicing it. Yeah, okay, they made a mistake, but no, that's not how we do things around here. Not as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they went and held some big fundraiser to hire a better person to try again or anything. It's not that evil, right? No. I know it's a poor joke, but a poor joke shouldn't change the course of your life. If everybody was to be honest and look back, and we have a look back segment coming up on Vance, you'd have to be honest. Everybody's made one. It's just not that. And now, what's his name in the chat here? Who was it? Somebody did. Don in the chat said, Jack is worried about his movie career. I'm 100% sure that's correct, right? Because Jack can just go.
Acting should be worried about it.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? That's that's a tough one.
That's very true, because I did see people on Twitter saying, "Well, Jack Black should be cancelled by Disney because of what his friend said." Blah blah blah. It's like, well, his friend said it. Jack Black didn't say it.
And did Jack Black react instantly in the moment or after the fact? Because if after the fact, I wouldn't doubt it was even his lawyers who was like, "Dude, you've got to do this right now."
Yeah, I'm sure it was the latter. But the interesting thing is, I hate to say it and I hate to bring it up, but when Pelosi, her husband was attacked with a hammer, there were very, very high leading Republican party members who were making jokes about that.
Yeah.
When the guy got bashed in by a hammer. When Mike Pence was being, called to be hung, they were all for it.
Yeah.
So you can't use this violent rhetoric. Against the other side when you are dominant.
You can't. It's got to be a two-way street, right? You can't like Trump's campaign saying that this is Biden's campaign's fault for causing so much hatred. Donald Trump's campaign has all been about hatred for years now against anybody he goes up against. So for them to say that is very disingenuous. Come on.
But another interesting thing is, they're all talking about the political violence, but a large majority of Republican videos or we say adverts or anything about them, they've all been shown, carrying guns or firing massive guns. What's that? That stupid bitch. She did one as well with a huge, 50 caliber gun. Like, come on.
No, I totally agree. And speaking of, say before, different after, right? Let's go to this guy. He kind of looks like Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow from TV. But
it does actually look like a Mid-Journey attempt at a face.
Yeah. Oh, here, we got a couple of shout outs to do that I should do first here quick. So Demetrius Siganovas has sent in 572. Low budget shout out. The Shills are the best. Any shout out's a worthy shout out, Demetrius. Thank you. That was a direct donation in. And then we had Yvonne Way as well doing the Queen of the Super Sticker thing. It's the little pear guy, and he's doing the mic drop. Is that it? Or yeah, either that or it's like a rye sandwich in a sub thing. I think it's a microphone. I've really got to get that to enlarge so I can see them better. Thanks, Yvonne. Thank you very much. Wait a minute. Where is he? This guy. Yeah. So that's Senator Vance, JD Vance. Vance. He just got named the running mate for Trump. So let's go over a couple of things that he said about Trump over the last few years, right?
I know I don't understand how.
Yeah, I know. So Vance
has got such a short memory.
I mean, right? So Vance sent a message to his former law school roommate, Josh, somebody or other, and this guy has recounted it publicly. In it, Vance said that he went back and forth between thinking Trump is a cynical asshole like Nixon, who wouldn't be that bad and might actually prove useful, or that he's America's Hitler. And this has been screenshotted and shared. And and then the guy who posted them said, I could never believe back then that he would be one of the principal reinforcers of Trumpism just a few years later, because this McLaurin guy that posted this stuff is now a Democratic state senator in Georgia, right? So he figures, this guy McLaurin says that Vance could be Trump's most dangerous pick as somebody who'll double down on all the retribution and vitriol. He cited Vance's ability to identify and connect with the anger felt by the MAGA base and how he wielded that skill to get elected and campaign for Trump. Right. So in another one here, Vance compared Trump to cultural heroin and a new pain reliever that promised easy solutions to the mounting social problems of suffering communities, but that ultimately couldn't fix what ails them. To every complex problem, he said, Trump proposes a simple solution. but he has no idea how to follow through. He never offers details for these plans and because he can't. Trump's promises are the needle in America's collective vein, he says. Here's another one. Vance mused that he might have to hold his nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. Yep.
That was for the previous election.
Yeah, exactly. But what he did say is he said, I think I'm going to vote third party because I can't stomach Trump. I think he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place. And why white? Ultimately, I just don't share Hillary Clinton's politics. And he did confirm in his book that he's not old enough to have written a book. What have you done, moron?
It was it was the hungry hippo.
Yeah, probably, right? But he did confirm he voted for a third party there. And in another one, Access Hollywood shared this one. Trump was bragging about groping women, saying, when you're a star, they let you do it. And Vance lamented on Twitter, fellow Christians, everyone is watching us when we apologize for this man. Lord help us, he wrote, right? So, and there's a few more of them too. Vance sat down for a chat with that Charlie Rose, and Trump was driven not by any special quality of Trump himself, like Trump's campaign is driven by, but the fact that folks feel very resentful at media establishments, political establishments, financial ones, and so on. He said he said he did not believe there were enough white working class voters to elect Trump, but cautioned that telling those voters Trump was a terrible candidate would backfire. Right? He went on to finish, I'm never Trump's guy, never liked him. But I noticed this willingness from people who think a lot like I do that, maybe he's the one that can step in and fix everything like he promises, even though, like he had said earlier, none of these promises ever have an ounce of credible how, why, when in them. So, yeah,
now,
we've got
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a theory. Right. Okay. So I'm Trump is an idiot, but he's not that much of an idiot. I mean, I'm sure he knows that Vance doesn't like him, but Vance, given the opportunity, he would love to be vice president. So he will support Trump now so he can become vice president and get on the payroll and get into the White House, and knowing full well that Trump might just step down and Vance will now be president. Hooray!
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, but also, I think Trump realizes that there's an awful lot of people in the Republican Party who don't like him. Well, hence the guy who just tried to shoot him. Yeah. Now, I would imagine that he's bringing Vance in as vice president. So Vance will then pull the other people who don't like Trump onto his side.
Exactly.
He's almost like unifying the party.
Yeah. Right.
just not America, but the party.
But what you end up with is a unified party of people that still don't agree with each other on fundamentals. So how effective would that be in control anyway? Like it's just get control.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's it. Win. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, it's like they're playing like hockey now, you
said football then, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure where I was going, but but yeah,
it's not far off.
Yeah, it's all for the game now. You say, like this guy says, and I believe him. Trump has no idea how he's going to fulfill this crap. No idea, right? Let's see. Where are you? Oh, wow, that's a cool picture. You got a good one. Are you doing the toys?
We'll do the toys because yes, a phaser and communicator used by William Shatner in the original Star Trek series has resurfaced after 50 years and are headed to auction. The long-lost props were used by William Shatner on screen in his role as Captain James T. Kirk in Star Trek, as if you didn't fucking know.
TJ Hooker? What?
Yeah. Don Hillenbrand, a Star Trek prop expert, authenticated the items as the hero versions used on screen in multiple episodes of the series.
Wow.
The props made in 1966 were thought lost for more than 50 years before turning up in the collection of a recently deceased man who worked in the Hollywood prop industry for many years. The items are now owned by the man's family and will be auctioned November 9th. Yeah, so, put a $5 on them. That won't be that. But interesting enough, I saw a story recently about the props that were used, the hero props that were used in Star Trek Enterprise. Again, it was a phaser. It was a hero prop. It was going up for auction. But the ironic thing is, it was actually a bought toy. They actually made toys of the phasers. They bought a whole bunch of them because it was a lot cheaper for props to just buy them than make them. And one of them actually got used as a hero prop, slightly extra detailed, but it was a hero prop in one of the episodes, and it was a toy.
Wow. Said Kenner right in the bottom.
It was actually from Star Wars, so that didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, all they have to do is just touch up the paintwork a bit and make it look nicer or whatever, right? And then where you go,
Yeah. Yeah, you get one of these things close to look at, they're crap.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Or when you see close-ups of like the sets, like pictures and stuff, sometimes things don't meet up properly and it's not very good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Wobbly rocks.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where are we? We only have like a few minutes left.
Did we get through all the Trumpy stuff?
There's still one more.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So I'll be quick here. But as you probably found out as well, right, on Monday, the judge dismissed the criminal case accusing Trump of holding on to those classified documents from Mar-a-Lago. The judge, Aline Cannon, who was nominated by Trump, ruled that special counsel Jack Smith, who is leading this prosecution, was unlawfully appointed to his role and did not have the authority to bring the case. Like, that's massive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But the case still exists. It's just, the story's true, but he couldn't bring it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The U.S. Justice Department is appealing the ruling. Courts in other cases have repeatedly upheld the ability of the U.S. Justice Department to appoint special counsel to handle certain politically sensitive investigations. And then there is a quote here. This ruling flies in the face of about 20 years of institutional precedent. Conflicts with rulings issued in both the Mueller investigation and in D.C. with respect to Jack Smith. This was Bradley Moss, a lawyer who specializes in national security. But Cannon's ruling throws out the future of the case, and she was appointed by Trump, and he's the one whining and complaining about conflicted judges and prosecutors and whatnot. I'm quite concerned for the rule of law and state in America right now with this crap going on.
It's making shit all over the place.
Oh, I know, like everybody just went, what did she just do? Because this is how it's been done for, I just said there, 20 years, right?
Mm.
It's not good.
This is why people are calling Trump the luckiest man alive.
Yeah.
Because his court case is getting thrown out. You got missed. There's so many things. They're just like, and he's got his immunity and all that.
Yep.
Nobody could be as lucky as that man.
I know. And then so in response to this, Trump says the dismissal of the lawless indictment in Florida should be just the first step. Notice how his language is very much the same as the judges, no legal to file the indictment. Notice that? Followed quickly by the dismissal of all the witch hunts, Trump said. And that's referring to the prosecutions of everybody who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. So please have a think about this, people. You want to elect somebody who willfully had people storm the Capitol and now, as soon as he gets power again, would be the first to end their prosecutions, making it literally legal for you to just storm the Capitol building because you don't agree with somebody. I mean, it's an awful thing to think about. Awful.
Yeah. To all the people who actually wished that guy didn't miss Trump, just remember, we've got to win this. We've got to win this. Well, I say we. You have. You've got to win this by votes.
Yes,
you can do it by voting him out.
Exactly.
And that's the way it's got to be done. But just vote hard.
Yep. So where do you want to go here? We got 2 minutes.
Well, let's go to the dopey tattoo, because you were saying that if Trump gets in, it's 4 more years.
Yep.
Well, it's going to be the same for this guy, because Dan Thomas from Swindon and Wiltshire received a tattoo of the cup on the words England Euro 2024 winners.
Oh.
He got that ahead of the final, and England went on to lose 2-1 against Spain on Sunday. Sorry for spoilers if you haven't seen the match, but Mr. Thomas, 29, now says he's confident that the Three Lions will win the next Euros tournament in 2028, when the UK and Ireland are the hosts, and he may get an alteration. He says it won't take much to change that 4 into an 8. Yeah, well, you should have got like a digital clock there, just be changing every 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he could have had 2020, or actually he could have put England Euro and just embedded 4 Nixie tubes in his arm and changed the number every so often.
Or just maybe not put the year on.
Yeah. Or not do something that unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, or just not put the date on, leave a little gap, and then you can tattoo that on when they win.
Yeah.
But he says, it's only time. We came close. I don't regret getting the tattoo. A win is only a matter of time. Yes, that's what they said when they put all those monkeys in the room with typewriters trying to write Shakespeare. It is just a matter of time. And by the time the England win the Euros, your skin will be so old and wrinkly, they'll be, tattooing into your blue veins to try and put a date on.
Oh, we'll use that varicose as the handle. There we go.
What a fool! I can't believe he got a tattoo. Oh no!
That is
confident.
Yeah, that's being really stupid with your life and what you're going to do with it. So maybe that's our consumer advice for the day: get winning tattoos after the team wins.
Oh, do not get a tattoo of Donald Trump winner. President in 47 and all that kind of shit. Just don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Get one with the piece of the ear missing, because he's going to have it fixed, right? So, okay, we're out of here. Oh, wait a minute. We got super chats to clean up at the end here. Yeah, Sprinkles DMC's gifting out a Shills membership. Big shout there, Sprinkles. Thank you very much. And Cypher did a super chat for $20. Fuck Vance, fuck Trump, Slava Ukraine, Heroyam Slava. All right. Awesome. I can agree with that very much. Does that mean it's credits time?
Before we go. Now, normally in the outro, I say something like stupid, like go and get a Shills t-shirt from the merch store and get yourself into the news and make us famous. Now, the shooter was wearing a t-shirt from another YouTube channel, so I'm going to be very careful about saying things like that from now on. So just don't do that, okay?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Do something nice.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow, we'll see you Thursday.
Yeah,
because I'm taking cold and flu medication to try to finally get over this damn thing. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
And a big shout out to the team who's running everything and doing all the scurrying and flurrying and, keeping us in line and making sure we know what we're talking about. We got Annette, PJ CNET, Shayna Caldwell, Crazy Cat, and Super Chat Matt. Thanks, everybody.
And thank you so much, everybody who sends in donations, super chats, and become channel members and all that kind of stuff, just to help the finances of the channel tick over. It really, really does help more than you can possibly imagine. And don't forget to hit like on the way out, bing, and don't forget to share us out. Share us out in the normal ways by Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you're on, or even just punch your neighbour and just say, "Oi, watch this show, you bastard."
Head downtown at 2 a.m. on a Friday and give out French kisses.
while wearing a Shills t-shirt. Stay shilly, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.